Alright, shalom, shalom. It's the brother Amawan coming at you with a video, Lord, when it's edifying. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to those like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth without sincerity. And also shalom to very, very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting it in order in these last days. Right to you all, I say shalom. Right, and this is just another blowing the trumpet, blowing the horn. You know, hey, when it comes to this topic, right, the MOTB, right, we know that this prophecy is around the corner and is coming very gradually. You know, this is the End Time Headlines article, right, and it says tech giants are quietly moving to kill off the smartphone, betting on radical new devices that bypass screens entirely. Right? Because when I seen this, I was like, man, that sound like Revelation 13:16, man. You know, but they trying to make everything so convenient that you don't have to walk around with the iPhone, Android, right? You become it, you know, mixing what? Man and machine technology together, human and technology together, right? And we go inside that Revelation 13 and 16, right? The Greek word for mark, charagma, right? Which also goes into charax, which also goes into grapho with all the information, the storage, the data, you know, that they getting rid of these things, man. Right. So, hey, we're definitely getting closer and closer to this prophecy, you know, coming to pass. So before I read it, I'm going to go inside this book of Habakkuk 2 and 3. Well, I start at verse 2. I start at verse 1. So, like it. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it, right? In which we've been telling y'all, man. We've been telling the people, right, starting off with our apostles, you know, we're going to come to a time period where they're going to get rid of the phones, man. You can become the cell phone. Everything that you need that you can grab, you know, to use, like, let's say, like car keys, passport, driver license, all of those things, your cell phone, that you like on your everyday basis, you know, a lot of those things, right? A lot of those things are going to be on that C-hip, man. Right? So now you're seeing these tech companies of what they starting to ditch the phone and come with a new device. That new device is going to be that radio frequency identification. Right? It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it, right? You're making it plain, making it well known, obvious. And that's what we do every time we speak on this vision. You know, make it plain. All the visions, it's like it. But, you know, in particular for this, you know, this lesson, right? You speak on this chip, you know, making it plain. You know what's going to happen to you, right? If you don't take it, you be X'd out of society, maybe beheaded for it. If you do take it, the Lord going to deal with you, right? He's going to make sure he kill you off, right? Ultimately by those thermonuclear missiles. And also for the time being, it talks about in the book of Revelation 16, I think it's 16 and 4, right? About having that that discharge, right? That pus, that cancer, you know, for receiving that C-hip, man. Right? So we making it that plain to where it ain't no, I didn't know what it was. It was kind of hard to understand. No, we broke it down clear as day. Right? It says, write the vision to make it plain upon table that he may run that readeth it, right? So we running with the correct message to warn the others, do not take this, right? He's finna come real cunning, sly, right? We was talking about Esau today at camp, you know, and hey, that's the characteristics of him. He's real cunning, you know, he's real slick with it, right? He'll get you caught up into the hype, you know, right? Like for instance, example, you know, how he did with Eve, you know, came with them all these benefits, rushed them with all these benefits, and boom, they fell for it. And he coming in that same type of way, man. He always come like that, real smooth and, you know, under the radar. Then boom, he got you, you know. So if we just blowing the horn, let you know that this devil is definitely making moves, man. Getting ready to deceive a lot of people, you know. He finna deceive a lot of people. When we go to the book of I'll go to it in here in Matthew chapter 24. There's only a few remnant that's not going to be deceived, right? Because we're the one that's paying attention. This is Matthew 24 and 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect, right? So we already know that they're going to deceive a lot of people, but the elect is not going to fall for it, right? And so like I did all these precepts, and I forgot to go into the article, right? But it's all good. We're going to still read up on that. So like it's Habakkuk 2 and 3 in the NLT. This vision is for a future time, right? See, this vision is for a future time, right? Because it's gradual. You know, it's all about little check marks, right? Checkpoints. You know, and then after those checkpoints, you finally reach your destination, right? Which would be that MOTB being manifested, right? This is what you need to, on a daily basis, to maneuver around. It says, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, right? Because Lord talks about how in Job, while he's eating, the Lord's pretty much going to knock his food out of his hand, man. Right? At his little small, before he gets to his peak, the Lord finna, come in with that wrath. Right? The Lord finna come in and intervene. Right? It says, it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently. That's all we can do. We can wait. And hey, man, each and every day we see that it's getting closer and closer. So that makes us smile even more. That lets us know that our redemption draws. Now that means Lord Yahweh can pop this off any day. You know, we believe that these folks already have these things set up to roll. We're just waiting it out now. You know, it says, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Because once it starts, it's not going to stop. Right, so let's go look at this article a little bit. So it says, tech giants are quietly moving to kill off the smartphone, betting on radical new devices that bypass screens entirely. It's in an era where slabs of glass and silicone perpetually weigh down our pockets. See, this the pitch. A quiet revolution is brewing, one that could render the smartphone as obsolete as the floppy disk, right? Because you don't even know I bet today's kids don't even know what a floppy disk is and what's its benefit for it. You know, it says tech titans like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and OpenAI's Sam Altman are vocally championing the demise of these ubiquitous devices. I don't even know how to say the word, right? Envisioning a future dominated by brain implants. See, I gotta reread that. Let's look what this is first. Ubiquitous, a present, appearing, or found everywhere, right? Appearing, yeah. Okay, understood. All right, so tech titans like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and OpenAI Sam Altman are vocally championing the demise, right? Let's get the word for demise since it's up here, right? The death, right? Really the end. So let's plug that word back in, right? Vocally championing the end of these ubiquitous devices, right? These devices that's everywhere, right? It says envisioning a future dominated by brain implants. All right, man. Hey, the Lord said he revealed his secret to his servants, the prophets, man. And the receipts is there. The receipts is there from what? Oh, Sam, well, I'm going to say from the YouTube platform, right? But the apostles been speaking on it, you know? So, hey, this speaking on the chip is been speaking on for decades, man. The receipts are there for it, you know? It says envisioning. Let's get that word for envisioning. Salakia. Imagine as a future possibility, visualize, right? And it ain't no possibility. This is what they're going to do, right? Like I said, this is a part of the pitch. They're going to pitch you this, right? And they're going to pitch it real good, right? It talks about that inside Revelation 13, I think, verse 14, about the miracles. It says, championing the demise of these ubiquitous devices, envisioning a future dominated by brain implants. See, out with the old, in with the new, right? And like we always teach, you know, Esau has the God complex where he wants to be like the Most High, right? So if he have all these things on the chip and he's the one that's ruling the whole earth, don't you think he'd be able to rule you as well? If you hooked up to this grid and you have his C-hip, right? That's what it talks about in Revelation 13 and 16, going to the word mark, right? He wants you to be fully subject to him. Slavery. It says augmented reality glasses and ambient AI companions. That's heavy. Let me tell you how much I got. I ain't gonna read all this. Definitely I'll leave a link for you brothers, to read and possibly do a lamb back. Right. It says, yet Apple CEO Tim Cook remains steadfastly skeptical, doubling down on iterative improvements to the very gadget that's made his company a $1 trillion behemoth. Right. I'm trying to figure out what that word is. So I'm learning for myself. A huge or monstrous creature. Right. It says as smartphones shipments plateau, right, we're leveling out, and innovation fatigue sets in, the question looms: is the end truly nigh, or just another hype cycle? And yes, we are at the end, because at the end, right, this is a part of Esau end, right? Him pushing out that C-hip, right? That's also a sign to be at the end. That C-hip. Right, the chorus of doomsayers begins with Musk, whose Neuralink venture is pioneering brain-computer interfaces that could obliterate the need for screens altogether. Right. Matter of fact, I think bro just did videos on it, lessons on it about how Elon just did his 12th patient. I think he said 12th patient or second patient. I think it's 12 though. His 12th patient for the Neuralink, man. Right, because once you got that Neuralink, you would no longer need no phone. Right, I see one dude, he was doing auto tune with one of them things, man. He had something implanted inside him. It says Neuralink recently confirmed that 2 human subjects have received its brain-computer interface. So it's 2, Salakia. It received its brain-computer interface implants, marking a major milestone in direct thought to machine communication. See, and that's another thing, they're gonna use it in Slovakia. They're gonna use it to bring the people in, seeing how it's working on these 2 people. Hey, scripture. Let's grab that right quick. And I'm almost done. 2 Corinthians 2:11. It says in the NLT, right? It reads, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. See, we know how this devil get down, man. He gonna pitch it to you real smooth, right? But you gotta be on point, because that's one of his tactics. That's a scheme of his. Another example, Gad, the tribe of Gad. Esau pitched something real good to him, and they bit it. They grabbed for it, they went for it, and hey, the turnout of that was Gad got slaughtered, man. Never trust thy enemy, right? Excuse me. Neuralink recently confirmed that 2 human subjects have received its brain-computer face implants, marking a major milestone in direct thought-to-machine communication. The aim is radical: to eliminate physical interaction with devices entirely. No more tapping, swiping, or even speaking. Actions could be triggered by neural signals. Come on, man. Neural signals alone. Come on, man. This is this is the MOTB all over it, man. He wants to have it a society where it's running off a grid and radio frequency, man. Right? Come on, man. And like we said, everybody say it ain't the chip. So what is it? Everybody say it's not gonna be the chip. So what is gonna be, man? And we done broke it down clear as day what the MOTB is, right? It says Musk's vision isn't mere sci-fi. It's a direct assault on the tactical tyranny of smartphones, promising a seamless merge of mind and machine where queries are answered with a thought, not a thumb. See how advanced they're trying to be? And it's crazy. I said I was gonna read all of this, but man, it's some good points up in here, right? Um, Echoing the sentiment, Meta Mark Zuckerberg is steering his empire toward augmented reality as the great equalizer. His team is working toward mainstream AR glasses by 2030, claiming they could become our primary computing platform, right? We're talking about that 2030 again. We already know what that means, that 2030 agenda, which we believe that can pop off between here and next year. You know, because that's the turning, but they want things to be up and running by 2030. That's the goal for them. These glasses would overlay navigation messages and other digital content directly into a user's field of vision, aligning with Meta's broader metaverse ambition. I've seen some glasses like that. Pretty much everything's you're looking through the lenses, but you can see all these different, things on them. So yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. It may be more inside here, but I don't want to waste the whole lesson trying to read all of this. But definitely from where I stopped at is definitely, it was definitely edifying. We see where things are turning towards, man. Right? So I'm gonna grab out a couple more precepts and I'm gonna close out. And hey, man, Lord willing, this is has been edifying. So let me go to the matter of fact. Let me start off with that Amos. Got to bring that out. I mentioned it. Amos 3 verse 7. It says, "Surely the Lord will do nothing, but He revealeth His secret unto His servants, the prophets." Right? That's why we have so many of these videos. That's why we when an article comes out like this, we do a lesson on it, because we know what it's pertaining to. We know what it's leading up to. All of this article is leading up to the MOTB. This society has to collapse. This system has to collapse, and they're gonna bring another one through with the form of Slakia, the sea hip, man, the sea hip. So it says, "Surely the Lord will do nothing, but He revealeth His secret," right? The prophecies to the servants, the prophets, man. He's going to reveal the prophecies to us, right? And that's why we're bringing it out, right? And when you go back and you look at it, you see that the breakdowns never changed, So from there, let me hit that Second Esdras, chapter 15, and verse 1 and 2. So I can, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy," right? Warn the Israelites, man, where they want to hear, forbear, right? "Which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord," right? So we put in the Lord's word. All right, so like you had a phone call come through, but I'm almost done. Finna close out. But it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true," right? So we warning them, because the Lord said He speak through His servants, the prophets, right? So we speaking on the Lord's behalf, telling them about the future event that's going to happen, right? And we telling you the steps that they're going in. We telling you how they're going to gradually feed this into the people's mind, real slow and steady. That's how they're doing it, right? Because we know at one point at any given moment, right, they can collapse the society and ready to bring in the new one, right, which would be the face of this beast system, would be that chip, right? So verse 13, Revelation, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which He had power to do in the sight of the first of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live." So if that Roman Empire was already tough, right? The beast system was tough then, right? They coming back with it now, and what they finna critique it. They finna add more flavor to it, so-called, and what they're gonna deceive them by the miracles, right? For people to like, what? I didn't even gotta. This paralyzed person can walk, or this paralyzed person can move the keyboard, mouse, and stuff like that. Hey, those are miracles that people would really love to have, But Esau knows the downfall of them receiving this, that help, that benefit, so-called benefit from them. Verse 15, "And He had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed." So we know the time that we're coming into, Akim and Akwaf. We come to the time period We're not going to take it, so we will be killed. Meaning either one of the two, just being real, one of the two, being X'd out of society, or we may be beheaded, you know, because why we refuse to take that sea help. So that's where we at with it, right? And he calls up all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive, right, a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, right? This is going to be the new requirement, you know. This is the end all be all right here. But see, they're gradually getting you prepared for it. See what I'm saying? It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See? So this is where we at. You know, I just want to bring this out in the spirit, seeing this, and I was like, had to just jump on it. You know, blow that horn. Hey, give them warning from me. You know? So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give out honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Shalom.